Alrighty guys, today we're going to teach you guys about bocce ball. So, bocce ball, in the adapted setting anyway, was originally intended for people with cerebral palsy. But the beautiful thing about it is it can kind of be played by anyone. The version we're going to show you today is kind of meant for everyone. But for people with cerebral palsy, they have ramps and other different modifications you can use if you need to modify it even more.
Alright, so for the rules, regulation, and scoring, bocce can be played one-on-one, in pairs, or in teams of 3. It is played on specifically marked court, indoors, on a tile surface or wooden gym floor, but in our case, we're playing recreationally. We don't have marked boundaries or anything like that. The object of the game is to throw or roll leather balls, which in our case we have beanbags, so that they land as close as possible to a target ball called the jack, which will be the frisbee. Opponents take turns serving the jack, attempting to place it to their own advantage. Athletes can knock balls or beanbags out of their way in order to become closest to the jack or the frisbee. They can push their own ball in closer to the jack. When all balls have been thrown, a referee determines the points awarded for the end of the round. The color that is closest to the jack receives the number of points equal to the number of balls that they have closer to the jack than their opponent's closest ball, which we can demonstrate in a second. The score accumulates for a number of ends specified in the rules for each division.
Alright, so a few safety considerations to consider when playing the game are, first off, make sure that the athletes participating have enough room to move their arms to be able to toss the ball or beanbags in this situation. Make sure that the athlete is correctly aimed downrange towards the jack. Make sure that no one is standing in front of them so that they don't get hit when they toss. And also, for special consideration of people who are playing in individuals with disabilities who are playing in a wheelchair, make sure that they're safely secured in the chair so that they don't lean too far forward and fall out or injure themselves in any way due to being in a chair. So now we're going to go ahead and do a demonstration of playing the game.
So first it's my turn to throw the jack, or in this case the frisbee, over there. And then Noah can go and try to get as close to the frisbee as possible. And then I go.
My turn again.
Alright, so for the scoring, it looks like the score would be 2-0 for the red team.
So I talked a little bit about how this is kind of aimed in the adapted setting for athletes with cerebral palsy. And that's because athletes with cerebral palsy have some issues with motor control. So one thing we can do, we used bean bags in place of balls here. But if you're using balls, what you can do is provide the athletes with a ramp that they can roll the ball down to get to the frisbee. And again, that's for people who aren't able to toss the bean bag like that. So again, I kind of talked about it. Bocce ball is really great because you can adapt it to whatever skill level you need.